line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to PT Racing TV live here at Richmond Raceway. And tonight, this is the very first showcase under the new name and banner, the Pit Stall Friday Night Racing Series here on PT Racing TV. Hi again, everyone. Welcome back to the show. As always, here as we're getting ready for the action here onto the track. It's time to take a look at the Pit Stall Monday Night Series first showcase here. 19 have stood top to the field. They're ready to go out of here with you. And on the pole, it will be the number 85 of Leader on the outside, and the number 31 is Bobby Anderson. And row number 2, the Crusader Christian Shriver, defending champion, will be on the inside, the outside of him, and the 13 Hunter Ameren Hansen. Row number 3 will be the number 84 Matthew Harper, the outside. The number 5, it'll be the Throttle Chantel Bottle, the outside. In row number 4 then will be Tyler O'Rourke. In the 8, the outside, and the 41 is Daryl Klotz. Row number 5 is Jeff Oakes, number 20 outside. The number 3, it'll be Douglas R. Johnson. Row number 6 is Mike Wright on the 76, the outside. The 95, Robert Warnes. Row number 7 will be piloted with Jason near the 10, the outside. The 55 is Jason Brent. Row number 8, Joel Nuttleman on the number 4, the outside. And the number 24, Matthew Moniak. Row number 9 is Robert Smith, the 18, the outside. And the 90 will be Dennis Warnes. And finally, Michael Pratt finishing out the starting lineup in the 88. 19 hard racing maniacs and tough drivers ready to go out of here, and the late models division here on PT Racing TV for the very first time ever. This is our very first showcase of the brand new, updated, modified late models. This is the Cars Tour version with more roar and more power. These bad boys and bad girls, I should say, are gonna be one to get it out and fight it out. As they come off the paces down through turn number 4 here, we're going to set them up down across the track here to our first green flag of the season. Here we go. Season opener time. Let's begin at Richmond. Hard drive out of the line there. Drivers going up top side. Some trying to take toward the bottom here. The Crusader Christian Shriver trying to go for the early run here. Bobby Anderson, 31 singular machine, trying to stay a little bit up on the middle side. Hansen trying to stay right there with them as they lean him down across the flanks here. Hoffer in the 84 right in that hunt as well. Rest of the field currently trying to conserve the tires a little bit, save the fuel up and the tires as much as they can here. Tire and fuel strategy going to be very critical and crucial with these kind of races, especially later on as you get further along into the drive here. A lot of tough situations that to follow and master here, with a lot of folks really having to narrow down and pinpoint the right strategy at the right time here and get things figured out quicker rather than later. Hansen immediately going to the inside around the 14. The defending champion right now going to have his hands tied up with the guy that he had faced off with last race there in the Honda Civic Type R's at National Fairgrounds. As the driver that was going for the championship as well that day, right behind him at the Harp of the 84, trying to set his standard, his tone for the first part of this season. This is honestly probably going to be one of the bigger tracks they race on this entire season. This is going to pretty much kind of treat like more like a plate race to them, considering the overall running clash they'll face each other with. And the corners right now are continuing to master down, trying to hit them on through into out of the back stretch here. Bobby Anderson trying to get a little bit of a drive off here as we see him going head to head here with Lee Norton for a minute. See a good little onboard camera too of just what that foot pedal is doing down there below him and what he's doing with it. You can actually see him lifting off the gas pedal and then back on the gas pedal as he gets a little bit out of the turn and into the turn. The more he lifts, the more he carries, the stronger it becomes. Except for maybe when you get a little too close to that wall protection, as the Dirty Mo Media number 20 of Jeff Oakes just figured that out the hard way here. These cars do not like being put into the wall. They do not like being trapped around anywhere else but the grass and surface they are turfed on. Trying to get it back on the ray here, trying to spread themselves back up. Battle back in the pack here. Mike right out in the number 76 going head to head here with the 10 of Jason Henry. Henry driving the Sun Drop, number 10 here, a scheme that I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been making quite famous as of late here on the show. The real world and all that, and right now doing a pretty good job keeping his tempo, keeping his pace up. We have a little bit of a live timing issue on our end here. We're not totally sure what is the deal with that here. May just be a little bit of a broken system on our end here, so we do apologize in advance. Darrell Kloss, his first time ever here on Pizza Racing TV. Doing a little showcase here with the number 41. As he tries to hammer down, trying to get some momentum carried over through. He's currently holding in the ninth spot here. Starting back in 8th though, trying to wheel and deal his way in. Right out, Henry going out a little bit here. As right behind him, Jason Brin, the 55 and the 24. Oh, Matthew Moniak, a driver we've seen here before on this broadcast as well. And he's already trying to hammer off, trying to get some speed going through the turns. See Boniak back out on the track ever since I think last time we really seen him was back in the old days of the Champion Power Equipment Cup Series time in the Ralls, maybe a little bit of the Green Mountain Grills, a little 3-wide suit there as we see a whole lot of them going through the field. Henry backing down, Pratt getting right in there with Brent coming off turn number 1 and 2, and the Red Line Media Motorsports holding down. Old Joker Joe Nuttleman also returning to the show, the number 4, bringing the Joker Mobile to the track in a about as wild looking scheme as they come, I would say. That definitely suits the Joker style if I ever had. Robert Smith in the 18 up on that outside with Dennis Warren's also kind of playing it back here early on. Kind of surprised not seeing Dennis get such a better run here and a better battle out here. Bobby Anderson, now your new leader here as he moves the chains up ahead here of Lee Norton. Norton trying to get some momentum carried over and back to him. You're on board here with Lee Norton, and this guy we were actually getting a little bit of a talking with earlier on before going this race. He didn't have much to say. He just said, flat out, I come here to race and I come here to battle. That's all I'm really here for. And I'm willing to put up the fight when I have to. And he's already putting up a good little fight here on everyone else as we see the rest of the field kind of try to hang with him. Hansen driving the heck out of that 13 though around to get that 85 behind him. Looking for any kind of run or any kind of extra momentum here as you see him cooking the corners and trying to steer it down. The tight front tires on these cars here are the one biggest thing you're going to really watch out for and really see a dilemma with, because what it's going to do is is just going to really force each driver to have to either A, take the turns a little smoother, or B, they're going to have to be a little bit more cautious on how they handle each corner and each turn. Divisively, it can make things a lot more difficult the longer it goes, the longer it lasts for. And I think that's what a lot of drivers are kind of looking at right now. Down the inside here comes the defending champion, the Crusaders driver. Defending champion on the Monday nights, and anyway, at least here he won the very last season of the Pushing Limits Racing League, and ended up saying he was going to try to just have a little fun with these late model tours, bringing out a Ford Mustang body type here, and decided to instead of go with the usual blue, he said, well, why not? We'll just go a little red on that one, get a little different scheme up. And he's got a nice looking ride there. It's Matthew Hopper, the 84, trying to take 2 for the price of 1 down here. Look for any kind of openings, any kind of battles here. Both drivers still side by side here, coming down through turn number 2. Good battle off here as the field continues to maintain the distance. A little status quo there between these drivers. This is what these late model tours are all about. It's showing you what kind of power, what kind of speed, and taking everything to the thigh here. Separating him out down to the exits here. Tyler Orwork, the number 8 Chevrolet as well, another driver returning back to the show. Last season here on the when he was on Pushing Limits Racing League, he had actually pretty much kind of tightened up the corners, tightened up the speeds, and it looked like for a time he was going to be right there with these drivers and right there with the field. Unfortunately, didn't quite go out the way he was hoping for. Ultimately, the question remains is, will he be able to start figuring it out this season around? Will he be able to start getting things dialed in a little bit better? And you can just see, too, how Richmond's kind of phasing these drivers out. Again, even though it's kind of a plate track kind of race, that still means these guys and gals have to try to maneuver through the track and still have to maneuver through the runs. And when they get trapped in these packs here, then it becomes really just a matter of attrition. Trying to find the right little angle, the right little turn to kind of get a little extra boost off of, trying to find that extra little grip. And then also trying to hit that right line and not cook it off the progressive braking to literally almost a flat banking off that turn. Signifying a little bit more momentum here and just trying to stabilize in. And there's one driver too that I think I really kind of wants to get a little bit something figured out this season. It's got to be that 5 of Chantel, the Throttle Poddle. Last season came home winless, and she told me flat out one of the most disappointing seasons she's ever had, considering how much Pushing Limits meant to her and what she did with it. But she said going into this new brand, this new name, she said flat out, I'm here to show the boys still. The ladies can get this job done and we can still figure everything out here. And speaking of figuring things out, 3 wide coming down off turn number 4 to the front straightaway here. Driver backs off. Gonna uptake the line to Hopper and Oaks, corner down, and it's going to be Hopper and Oaks making the jump up ahead. Anderson was still a pretty good lead up ahead of Lee Norton right now as those two continue to try to step up here. The pack's still kind of drafting off here, trying to get any kind of extra little momentum. The 14 in the wall a little bit coming down through the front straightaway, giving some room here for the rest of the field to kind of make a move off, trying to make a drive down through the corners here. Pack stacking it up yet again here. Each driver just trying to make their mark, trying to make their run. Speaking of make their runs, 3 spots up. The number 95, Robert Warren. He's already trying to show he's got a little bit of cook and a little bit of sizzle to them tones and them drones, and he's trying to maneuver through. Looking to try to get back up into the position here and make the run off, and again, bump and runs very casual here. They'll be kind of popping up a lot more often, I feel, when we get to the shorter tracks. But in all fairness, I think it really kind of makes things just a little bit more difficult with what they're going to have to face up against and what they're going to have to deal with when they get those rear end kicks out. Because again, this char, we're kind of centered off the front nose, so it actually kind of plays more into the drivers that know how to run a rear wheel drive versus a front wheel drive, which I think honestly phases a lot better drivers than it did back when we were running those Hondas. So far so good here with the rest of the field kind of separating out. Jason Henry trying to stay away from the cars, from the action here. Oh, and speaking of cars in the action there, a little trouble down there for the 14. Right front destroyed there on the nose. The 14, the tire given away, and it took a nice little dinger in that one. Gonna set the back apart. Tyler O'Rourke getting a good jump ahead. Robert Warren's also fighting out, and Daryl Klotz right in that mix. Now they're looking to try to make a move up on each other here as we're getting closer and closer to the halfway point. Not to mention that factor of the fuel run, the tire run. Really, there's so many things that can go into this here. You got a couple options, of course, which is the first option is drive slow early, save your equipment, save the tires, and just take fuel. Or you've got to literally confiscate all that and drive as hard as you can, and then when the right time comes, get all 4 tires or get 2 sets, and then drive off from there, and hope you got it settled up your way and your style. Easier said than done here as we move them right through. Rubber Warren's currently now backed and quick here with Hopper on the outside. The inspection center, the tire inspection center right now having his hands cut out for him. Or the inspection station. Trying to maneuver it through. Pottle trying to hold him off. Remember those two, they had a war 2 seasons ago when the Pushing was Racing League again. Now this season, kind of just shaping up and trying to fight with the best of them. See who can hang with the runs of them. Looks like the chair and wine, number 41, Daryl Klotz getting out of the way. Shriver looked like he just completely driving like a madman on a mission after that huge hit he just suffered. Looks like he wants a little bit of that like a pounding and a grounding and challenging around here and wants to take control of this race. But again, you're not going to take control of anything, especially if you're not. Bobby Anderson's case right now. Lee Norton jumping ahead here and taking the lead away from Anderson. My live timing's all sorts of messed up right now, guys, so it's kind of hard to catch who is where and who is when at this point, so I do apologize. We'll get that fixed here for the next showcase coming up on Facebook. Goat Racing League Truck Series live on Pizza Race TV live today. We'll see them here soon enough. Pit stops here coming in. Jeff Oak's going to be the first one around. Looks like he's going to try to get a little bit of an early jump on the drivers, get a little bit of an early position in between. See what he can take to the table here. Hands going to drop down low. Anderson will follow. Warren's going in. Pottle looks like she'll stay out. O'Rourke and Shriver going in. So Pottle going to try to drive out as far as she can here. To maybe put something on Norton here. With 26 laps remaining, this is really now a keen instinct. This is a key run. Put the pressure on and try to hold off as long as you can. Let's go on board here with Norton, see why he's getting so much speed here. There's really 3 big things here you got to remember, Richmond. Again, the first thing is the offset of the weight. The car tire here on that right front, it's going to take all the abuse. It's going to take the front punishment of it. So controlling your turn and controlling the momentum off the corner, not letting it get too far wide, not getting it too far tight, allows the driver to dictate a pace and a control. And then from there, it's all about just timing and execution. Norton going into pit road, Pottle, Moniak, and Pratt. And looks like Ryder going to stay out. Right out, the only driver so far to stay on out, and this one here, he'll get himself the race lead. We have ourselves 3 new leaders in this one. First it was Norton, then it was Anderson, Norton again, then right out. Taking a little piece of the pie. Norton's out of pit road. Pottle trying to get out of there quickly, but she's got all 4 tires going on. Anderson, Oakes, and them jumping right into the position here as the rest of the field continues to try to hang with it. And it looks like Hansen maybe got a little bit aggressive here off those corners, trying to stabilize it down. These pit stops, man, they really did a number on some of these drivers. Some of them taking as long as probably later than they really should have been. The pit lane times don't lie, and it certainly is showing. Seeing about 43 seconds, seeing for some, seeing about 53 seconds for others. Some taking 4 tires, some just taking 2, and it looks like those that took 2 seem to be in a much better position than they are right now, actually. Moniak currently looked like I don't know sure if he just took right sides or he just took fuel there, but the 24 really just coming alive here in the DuPont as he tries to hold down the rest of the field. The field trying to catch up there with him and get back in this. Saving tires and saving that fuel might actually be a very big dilemma here and give these drivers something to think about. Coming right around off turn number 1 and 2 here. Daryl Klotz trying to get something on him. Trying to see if there's some run. Oh, get a little too aggressive coming off the corner. Gives the opening to Robert Warrens. Here comes Warrens. 95 shipping his way off sail for Front Beach. He's trying to take it all the way in a bit of a pinch. Absolutely incredible racing so far from these guys and gals here to see what we've got really up in store and what we put on display here. And the way the point system works too is that even though it's going to give a lot of drivers the opportunity to kind of stay up front, if they can stay up front, you still have to be consistent. So those that do well here, they're going to have themselves an advantage, but later on when things get a little tighter, a little bit harder to run off, it will then become more of a crapshoot to see who can take control of the ends of the bargain and the ends of the race here. Lee Norton here coming down pit road, and he did not take tires at all. He only took fuel. It's so hard to even say, like, if he's shifting through the gears or if he's actually just getting that loud pedal up so high, that literally the engine is just roaring the transmission up a bit. It's hard to really say. I mean, either way, it's really kicking up a bit and kicking up a punch, giving these drivers quite a bit to think about at the same time, a lot to work around. So the way it sounds, I think honestly it's just the way the car is working here. Coming down through the final exits here, 16 laps to go. Norton leading the field. Anderson currently about a full 10th back of him. Look at Anderson too, man. He is really dishing this car around trying to catch him. See the way that foot is just planted on the floorboards. You see, literally also kind of keep a close eye on that foot. He's not braking. He's not trying to corner it off. Just trying to stay stable as can be. And hoping for a bit of a break or a bit of a help or something. Anything really to get him in this chance. Norton wanting to get the first one of the season and knock one off the books. Meanwhile, battling for the top 5. Moniak and Klotz right now dealing with each other's game plans here, trying to strategize over the other. Klotz looking for the run, coming down through turn number 3 and 4. Had to back off slightly there through the corner. Nothing left to lose and everything to gain off it, but he is just burning that right front up. And again, you just got to be careful because again, you only got about 10 good laps on a 4 set of tires. Imagine how bad it must be when you got only 2 sets of tires to have to work around. Yeah, I think Moniak's trying to use that against him. Keeping a cool pace, keeping a slow pace, really helping him out in so many regards. And all which way to Sunday. Dennis Warrens, by the way, the 90. Kind of surprised, honestly. Yeah, got a little bit of a fight back here. The shopdub.com. www.shopda. Excuse me, DWCA. I can't talk today, guys. I'm sorry. The www.shopdwc.ca. Number 90. So far, pretty much been kind of locked and loaded, kind of figuring this out here. And he started way back in that pack here. I mean, he was early 11 spots back. He started in 18th. He's moving into 7th. And he's trying to stabilize it down, trying to hope for the best here. And hope maybe he can get something on the boys up in front of him. But again, those drivers that were on 4 sets of tires right now, they are coming back through the field. Coming up on the top side, look at this now. Klotz finally found something. Or did he get a little bit wide there? You can't drive it up that wide. That's going to slow him back up and get him a little loose. Hang it tight. Hangs 10 and sends it its way. Oh my. Moniak probably just thinking to himself, if this guy goes any lower, I might be in trouble. That's where spotters get put to good use. Everything gets put right in it needs to be. And it sends its way back in position where it has to be and done for us. Good sake of time here. That little onboard camera here, as you can see, Claude's finally getting a little bit of that draft help here from Warrens, although that draft doesn't really do much good, especially considering what you got to really put into the power and put into the pressure. Moniak trying to hang on. Meanwhile, back in the pack here, Jason Bren, the 55, had a little duel with Mike Rideout in the 76s. He's trying to hunt down the number 88 of Michael Pratt with only 7 laps remaining. Time running out here for the position and for this here. Trying to stabilize everything he can to his table, trying to see what he can bring on the track here. And Rideout again, he's another guy last season. Almost had himself a championship. Had it not been for the Penske Crusader defending him off at every corner. He said to me earlier today, I'm not after the championships, I'm just after to prove a point that I can race with these guys. Well, we know Bobby Anderson can prove a point or two and race it out with the best of them. The man's got a season championship from the Sunday night edition of the Pedal Metal Racing League, defeating and defying all odds and taking down some of the heaviest hitters you'll ever see in a truck. Now trying to figure out how to take down the late model tours. But unless you can literally find a way to anchor that 85 of Lee Norton, I don't think you're catching him today. 4 laps to go here, coming down off the corner here. Norton leads him. Hofford now about to be put into lap traffic territory here. Anderson trying to use it. There's a little bit of a workaround. Daryl Klotz here losing a lot of ground the 41. Not completely sure what happened to him there. Had a great battle there with Matthew Moniak and Douglas R. Johnson. And now Dennis Warren's even moving the chains up with him and Robert Warrens. Surprised the Warrens boys have gotten as far as they did considering where they started at, but at the same time I'm not. We see what Robert can bring to the table here before on the big ends and the short end tracks, and he's only got 1 win to his name for the Truck Series. That was back, I believe, just about 5 or 4 weeks ago. And he said to me earlier, man, if it had not been for some other things, I probably would have been able to take home a championship. So, mark my words, this Pit Stall Million United Series better watch out. I'm hungry for one. Well, you can be hungry all you want. Here we go, though. Coming up to the final laps here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to bring him off turn number 4. White flag high in the air. Lee Norton looking for it all. Norton trying to hang it down here, trying to stabilize the car off just through the final corners. Sending it back on its way, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to start the new name and the new season off with a bang. The Trash Can 85 brings it to victory lane at Richmond. That will set the tone. Oh, wait a minute. Down off turn number 2. Big trouble, big trouble. We got cars flying through the air. We got them all crashed up and banged up down there. Bit of a race off there. Daryl Klotz, the one, the recipient. Hanson getting cleared out of there. Norton going to bring it out to victory lane here after a wild little circumstance, but the season opener victory will belong to the 85. In a major run around and battle here. There it is, your winner here in Richmond, ladies and gentlemen, Lee Norton. The first winner of the season, the first race, belongs to him in a wild little situation coming off turn number 2 there. Causing everybody to have a little bit of trouble. The cameras just literally catched it right as we were getting to it there. Thankfully, we managed to catch it just in time as the leaders got ahead there. But here is your results here. Presented by the Pit Stall Racing Series. The final results on your screen. Lee Norton going to bring this one on home. Bobby Anderson going to take home second. Jeff Oakes goes third. A good showing for him. Robert Warrens and Dennis Warrens. Top 5 for them. Matthew Moniak going 6th. 7th to Douglas R. Johnson. 8th to Mike Rideout. The Crusader Chris Jarvis getting 9th. 10th to Michael Pratt. That'll round out your top 10 for this one. Last year finisher is Tyler O'Rourke. Having some problems down the number 8. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our showcase here for the first part here. We are going to have our doubleheader closed out here with GOAT Racing League Truck Series. We'll see them here in just a little while on the Pizza Race TV Facebook channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys later on. It's been a pleasure. We'll catch you next time.